We want to know where is the landslide, right? So that's why we will use air photo. And the air photo will come from the airplane, but also you can come from the satellite, image of the satellite. But however, the red lines represent where is the landslide. And the red point is represent they already have some significance for the landslide. And here is the part of the disposition of the landslide. So if you make the close view, is by this way, so you can see very well. Actually, the landslide area is about 5.8 hat. And the latitude, the difference is around 220 meters. The longer is about 430 meters, and the deeper is about 200 meters. And totally is more than 10 million meters square for this kind of the landslides. So, in fact, in Taiwan, landslide is quite often. It's not only the landslides, but also they have some rock falls. And here, maybe some of you already go the camping car to go to Maolan, is to go to the zoo. So that is taking part. You can see that. And that is only on the toe side of the trading card. So that is from 2008, 1st October 2008, and that is less about 3 weeks later, there was occurred the big landslides in the same area. So that is one of example, and I would like to tell you some of the construction. When we make this construction, of course, we are already making the geological survey, but why they still have nature disaster happen in this area? So that is the purpose why we want to learn the engineering geology. So if we make the profile from A to A plot, so here is the top of the landslide. This is the top of the landslide area, and here is a whole profile. So you can see very well that is one of the formation. That is the sandstone, and here is the construction about the top. So that you can see exactly what's happened. In your top part is the map view, and in your bottom part is the closed section view. So that is very typical profile we will make. So how can we define what is CV engineering? We would like to say CV engineering or engineering geology. Okay, so we want to know what's happened in this area. We want to know what is impact for geology, especially based on the CV engineering. So this kind of science we call it CV engineering or geological engineering. So that is not only the people who was living, who is learn the earth science, but also for the CV engineering and also for the other purpose for that. So you will ask me, maybe 10,000 before, we don't have any construction, but why? In the past, maybe 20,000, or in the past, maybe only 1,000. And how can we get this kind of study? So you can imagine for the long time ago, maybe during the Egypt or the mainland China. In that time, we will make a lot of the channel, and we also will make some the channel for the water, and also for the people who can living over there. And if you remember, we will also make a lot of the water reservoir. So all of that is, the people try to modify the topography. So in that time, we would like to say that is civil engineering, the job. So you can imagine just in BC 2,040 years ago, they already tried to make some tunnel. And in the Egypt, and they try to make some pyramids. And also in the Pakistan or even in South of America, they make a lot of the channel is for the transport the water. And of course in Ceylon, they make some the water reservoir. They make the bar for the dam for that. And of course for the mainland China, they have the Grand Wall. It is just only the 300 years BT before. So this is quite long, I would like to say that. But for geology, actually, the geology is the word is come from the Greek phrase. So geo is mean earth, logy is mean domain. So we actually definition geology is to understand the earth's material. So include the rocks, soil, and the water. And of course, independent where and independent time. So that is the purpose for the geologists. And also, we also want to know the dynamic earth is about one for the water, for the heat, and for the chemistry reaction. So all of that is included for the geologists. So general geology, we would like to say they have the physics geology, including the whole space, what's happened, and what is the material, and what is the disposition, and of course, what is different geological process. And also, second part, we would like to say history geologist is about the relationship about the time. So that's we were talking about the evolution of the Earth and what's happened for the Earth. So you can imagine actually geology is one of the domain is quite new from 18th century to 1019. So they already have the people talking about geology this world. But usually we will use geology, this term for the mining, and also for the geography. And I just told you maybe last week, we call the James Hurd. The guy we call he is the father of geology, because he have the very popular word is the theories of the earth is the poor and the ignition. So that is the James Hurd, he say that. And the Will Smith, and that is the data. That is the people who was make the dating, especially from the fossil. So based on the dating, we can know the history of geology, especially in that time, they tried to make the first geological map in England. And in 19th century, a geological survey from the British that is become a very important associate in that time. But also for the civil engineering actually is much more early than geology. If you still remember, I just mentioned 3000 before BC is already have civil engineering. The people who was try to make some construction, especially for the make the city, or they want to make some they want to make some mining, to mining geology. So usually they are more of the civil engineering. They must be have the know-how about the geology. But civil engineering, civil engineering geology, actually that is quite new, and especially is after the geology, the people talking about the engineering geology. So if we just very quickly to talking about what is evolution of civil engineering or engineering geology, they have a big guy we call Professor Lin Ming Lang, who is the professor in National Taiwan University, and he also working of course in the Department of Civil Engineering. So he just make this very quickly the list. In 1928, from United States, they have San Francisco Dam was collapsed by the heavy rainfall. And in 1929, the people, he just make the first books we call the Engineers Geology. In 1933, in United States, one of President Hof is just push a road about the civil engineering projects. In 1936, they was have the first time the international engineering, the basic engineering and the soil engineering in United States, and so that also have the first article we call geotechnique. So that is the first one. But in not too, just couple years later, in Taiwan, it was occurred a very famous landslide we call Chaolin landslide in 1941. And in 1950, actually they have an international engineering society and American engineering society just in 1950. So you see that is not very long time ago. The people think about engineering geology. But however, you will see we will talk for the civil engineering, we will separate two different materials. The first one is the soft material. So they were talking about the soil mechanics. But the other hand, they will put the hard material, just like rocks, like landslides. So that is also is about the rocks. For example, the French guy in 1957, he just the books is mechanic of the rocks. But before that, the British, he also already write the paper to talking about the soil mechanics in the redaction of geology. But however, actually, the principle for the engineering geology and the geotechnique actually is quite close. It's linked together because the different material. So not only me, like Jiaji, he also teach about the soil mechanics, rock mechanics, and basic of civil engineering, and also they will make some, they will go to the field and try to understand. And one of, for example, in 1959 in French, they have the dam. The dam reservoir was destroyed, and that